Sometimes I'm amazed at some of the things that get me frustrated at times. I have to be constantly aware of what's going on just to nip it in the bud before it gets out of control. I don't know about you, but most of the times I find it's the little drip, drip, drip that just wears me out more than that one big problem. Because I can see the mountain and I can prepare for it, but these little drip, drip, drip can be so subtle. It's almost like the boiling frog. You've probably heard of it. If you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, the frog jumps out right away. But if you put the frog in tepid water and then slowly bring the water to a boil, of course the frog will not perceive the danger and he will be cooked to death. Everyone deals with situations differently. So whether it's the bigger issues that's getting you frustrated or the smaller ones that keep dripping throughout the day, stay with me to the end of this video to find out more about how you can reduce the daily frustrations that you feel. So today you will learn how to get frustrations reduced with 8 steps. Frustration comes in many forms, and unfortunately you'll find that even small things get under your skin, as I said before, especially when they pile up. But how do you keep from letting daily frustrations rule your life? Get your pen and paper ready and take some notes that you will have these pointers to remind you just in case you forget. First, you need to determine whether this is a common frustration or a symptom of something bigger. What's going on? How are you reacting? So really examine the frustration. If you're finding yourself overreacting to the frustration, it might be that the stress you're feeling doesn't have anything to do with the frustration at all. And if that's the case, you'll want to address the bigger problem. And for some, you can easily manage small frustrations. Secondly, you definitely want to know the cause. So once you've determined what the frustration is, take some time to understand why the situation is frustrating to you. And if you're unsure, you might want to spend some time writing it down, putting your words on paper, spend some time in thought, and just try to really understand it better. And don't leave prayer out. It works wonders. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Genese Smith, and I'm a registered nurse and a transformational life coach. And I'm all about sharing what I have learned from my own life experiences, as well as share what I'm learning now in mindset change and how we can be empowered in different areas of our lives, even though sometimes we feel down and out. I also love encouraging individuals to step out in confidence. So I'm going to move on to my next point. So the third thing you want to do, and this is very important, you do not want to leave this out. Ask whether your frustration is misplaced, because sometimes that happens. And if you think the cause of the frustration is you, ask yourself why that is. Your response will tell you a lot. If you start calling yourself names and words like stupid or lazy come up, you're likely responding to some trigger that has nothing to do with you. You get what I'm saying? So listen and understand, because sometimes things happen outside your control and you just need to deal with it and to let them go. The fourth step is to adjust your timing, because it's difficult to deal with frustration when you're tired and your energy is lagging. So take care of frustrations when you're at peak energy and ability. For example, if you're not a morning person, save frustrating tasks for the afternoon. I have been learning this the hard way, how important timing is. And I'm telling you that I'm learning that with practice, it gets easier and easier. Know when to fight your battles and choose your battles wisely, right? The fifth step is to take the randomness out of the day. What do I mean by that? I want to get into more details about that. But first, have you subscribed to my channel? I post new videos about mindset change and reaching your goals and financial education every single week. So go ahead and click that red button. When I say take the randomness out of the day, I'm talking about putting yourself on a schedule or keeping a routine, because when you do that, there's less room for surprise, which might be frustrating. So keep the randomness out by creating a schedule, including even the more mundane tasks in your day, such as brushing your teeth. Some persons would say, no way, that's going to take away from my creativity or also being spontaneous. But I ask the question, does it? Because you can be creative. Creativity does not happen out of nowhere. You have to work hard and consistent to make it happen. Most high performers create on a schedule. I also want to add that you can create a spontaneous schedule. Times when you want to be spontaneous. Something to think about. You can also add spontaneity in your routine. You could brush your teeth differently. You could drive a different route at work. Does that work for you? No? Well, that's okay too. We're all different. And that's what makes us unique and special. Step number 6 is to ask if it's worth fighting for. Frustrations come when you're trying to take control of something that is out of your grasp. So ask yourself if this is a battle worth pursuing, or can you let this one go? I'm not saying it's easy to do. As a matter of fact, it can be very difficult to do. I want to encourage you though. Include that in your step, and with practice, it will become easier. Have you tried it before? Let me know in the comments below about your experience of telling yourself to let this one go. In step number 7, practice listening consciously. A lot of frustration comes when we're not communicating well with someone else. So just slow down. Listen to what the other person is saying. Reiterate their position, showing you're clear on what they're saying. Take time to think about your response, making sure you're both clear on what you're trying to say. And the next step is try to find release. Because frustration causes a high adrenaline level built up. So sometimes you have to pick an activity. Some persons will punch a pillow, work out, clean the house, do something physical to release that pent-up energy. And remember, when you manage your frustrations, you're free to become calmer and a happier person. So don't let daily frustrations run you down. And now that you know how to reduce your daily frustrations, in my next video, I will talk about how to manage these frustrations. So be on the lookout for that video. Stay calm and work these steps, and you'll soon see the difference and the change that it will make, and in how you're going to be able to deal with life and face the frustrations and face the world. So I want to say thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.